Welcome back to the Second and Short podcast, where the entire playbook is open. I'm Josiah.
I'm Coop.
I'm Hayden.
I'm Eli.
For those of you who like to listen to audio only, the Spotify link will be in the description.
Yeah, so we have our second ever guest on the show, Cooper Ocam. Welcome. Our first guest, Jacob Naples, didn't do so great with the picks, went 7-9. Today's episode is actually going to be centralized around week 15, I believe now, the picks in all those games. So Cooper, hopefully you have a better win percentage than 7-9.
I will.
Oh, okay. All right, Eli, you want to get us started?
Or cocky? That's the question.
Both.
Both? Confident? and
Yeah.
cocky?
So for week 14, not 15.
Oh,
I'm
my
just
bad.
messing
You
with you.
coulda
I'm just playing.
corrected-
It's
you
okay.
coulda corrected
I didn't want
me,
to.
yeah.
I didn't correct you. No, I'm just kidding. Let's start with the Thursday night game, Patriots and all your favorite, the Steelers. So it's been a running bit, but kind of not a bit at the same time that I've chosen the Steelers every single week to try to jinx them. So I'm going
It's
to go
not
with
because
the Steelers.
you're the greatest Steelers fan of all time.
Of course not. Well, I am when they lose, I guess. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Unless if they start Trace this week, I will cheer for the Steelers. I promise.
Trace the Muth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude,
Throwing on a dime.
I'm excited for Trace. I'm not going to lie.
He's not gonna play.
He's not
I
even
don't
suited.
care. I don't care.
Well, he'll suit up right
He's
as
on the
like the
practice squad.
emergency
No,
third
'cause
guy.
I think they would have to call him up, and I don't think they would call him up.
Oh,
But
He'd have to be on the active.
I thought it doesn't count as an active. It just doesn't count as a dress.
yeah, correct.
gotcha.
Doesn't count as a
Okay.
draft. I mean, Arizona, I said it last week. I had that game circled as a trap game since the schedule came out in June.
And you still pick the Steelers last.
Yeah, because I was a coward and I was thinking about the picks. But you're right. Officially, I did choose the Cardinals, but it was pretty well written that I was very much skeptical of a Steelers win. They lost that one. I think they're going to win this one. Trubisky has said that he's going to be aggressive. I don't know what the running back situation is going to be. Jalen Warren kind of was talking crap on the coaching staff, saying they weren't prepared and overlooked Arizona. Najee's hurt. This just seems like a game that TJ's going to have 3 sacks and take the game over. Steelers win.
Without talking about how well we did last week, this is a big week for you because now you and Christian got 2 on you this past week, so you guys are now tied in last from us 5. So polar plunge is getting real.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough game because, I mean, you look at it, you're like, I mean, it's going to be a defensive game, like straight up. Like, I wouldn't expect a lot of scoring. It's got a historical low in over-under from a betting perspective.
Hammer the over.
The
Hammer the
lowest
over.
since 1993. The over-under for points is 30.5. Like, they don't even expect them to score 31 points total between the two teams in this game. That being said, it's in Pittsburgh, which I think gives the advantage to Pittsburgh, even though Steelers Nation travels really well. Again, I don't expect a lot of scoring, like 10-3, 10-6 kind of game. A lot of defense, hopefully a lot of sacks. I'm going to go Steelers.
I agree with Josie on defense. TJ having a lot of sacks. I think it's going to be a low scoring game as well, like a 13-7 type of game. It's going to come down to the wire again. I'm guessing the Patriots are going to drive down the Steelers on the last drive, and they're going to get to about the 30, and they're going to, yeah.
That is so. I
like that. No, I
it
like
was
that.
so
I like that.
specific,
I like
and
it.
then it just like tailed off.
No, I like
Yeah,
that
it-
specific thing.
yeah.
I like it.
Pats.
No, I'm going Steelers 13-7.
Saying the last drive doesn't work out.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you were saying they drive down and kick a game-winning field goal. I got you.
No, it'll
Well,
be.
he never finished the thought.
I never
That's
finished
what I'm
the thought
saying.
because,
Yeah.
Now I can see it, like a 4-point game where they need the touchdown, and then
Yes.
TJ just comes
Yes.
up with a sack. in the
Zappy
end.
starting? Or do we see another rookie finally, Malik
There
Cunningham?
might be. I think they're just going to.
This game's gonna be.
I think they're going to
awful.
stay with Zappy.
They're going to promote Will Greer from their practice squad back up to the active roster.
You know, I
Legend.
was going to say, if you're not a fan of either of these teams, I feel bad for you for having to watch this game.
You don't have to watch it.
Well, you do. There's limited games left in the football season. We've reached the point. Watch as much football as possible.
I feel bad for-
Make it interesting.
Luke,
Oh, Steelers.
Stillers.
I feel bad. It's Mike Tirico, right? I feel so bad for him. No,
It's Al
who's-
Michaels.
Al Michaels.
Al
that's right.
Michaels
I
and
just-
Herbstreit.
They're giving him these absolute garbage games.
And Herbie's puppy.
Well, there hasn't
Herbie's
been many
dog.
good Thursday
Ben.
night football games.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, what we got next, Corks?
Well, let's go to Browns Jaguars.
Let's go. Let's flip the order. Cooper, you go
Hey, we
first.
don't
Alrighty.
know- We don't know about Lawrence's status yet.
I don't think he's gonna play.
I don't think he will either.
I'm gonna guess they're gonna sit him this week, but I'm gonna still go with the Jags, just because I think they're a more well-rounded team, and I think they're just gonna out tire the Browns, and without Watson, the Browns have not really struggled, but they've struggled. So I think it'll be a very close game, but the Jags will pull it away.
Browns will find a way to choke again.
Josie?
I'm actually going to go Browns in this one. I don't want to sound like a broken record going the at home thing, but like Browns at home. Joe Flacco played okay last week in his first game ever for the Browns. Trevor Lawrence is the heartbeat of Jacksonville. We talked about that before the season even started, that like Trevor Lawrence is what makes Jacksonville go. Like Beathard played okay-ish when he was in there. I don't agree with the holding call where he like hit a 42-yard pass to Calvin Ridley and they called it back. I didn't think that it was a hold. So like his stats should have looked better. They should have won the game. But I think that the Browns defense and Joe Flacco playing okay, running the football, like I think the Browns win this game.
But I do have a question for you. Do you think it, because of Joe Flacco's age, think that'll be a hinder on him for 2 games in a row?
No, we've seen more old quarterbacks in today's day and age than we ever have before. So, I mean, how old is Joe Flacco? 39?
38, I
38.
believe.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, we saw a 45-year-old quarterback win the Super Bowl. So,
Yeah,
I would not compare.
I know.
Yeah.
But Joe Flacco does have the greatest stretch of any quarterback ever statistically in postseason history. I know this isn't postseason. Right now,
Fourth
but
greatest postseason quarterback
Joe
of all time.
Flacco, not elite, good enough to win this game. So,
Good enough to win the Super Bowl, too. Stefanski's not committing to him as QB1 this week. That's a foolish decision if he's not. After 1 week, he already showed that he still has it. I expect him to play even better. Browns win this one.
like, that's a good Rams team that they played. A very good Rams team.
I'm going Jaguars. I've also haven't chose the Browns yet this year. But I honestly think the Jaguars are going to win. I think Flacco's a decent distributor still, and he's smart, obviously. I don't think that's what the Browns need, though. I think they need somebody that can push the ball downfield. I don't think the Browns can sustain drives. Their offense isn't good enough.
I think Flacco can, though.
But I don't think the guys around them are good enough where they can consistently go down the field and score points. Like they had that one really good drive, I think in the middle of the third quarter when they responded to a touchdown where they ran the ball, they threw the ball, but it was a lot of chunk plays. It wasn't a lot of those 4 or 5 yards because then they just shoot himself in the foot with a false starter, illegal formation or something stupid. I also think the Rams exposed something with the Browns defense and running on the edge. I can't count how many times the Rams did a toss play or jet sweep, and it worked like every single time. It was ridiculous. DNs just kept crashing down, so I think the Jaguars exposed that run all over the Browns, and I think they beat them pretty well.
Do you think that
I think the Browns are screwed the rest of the year.
do you think Joe Flacco gives, of the 3 quarterbacks, do you think Flacco gives them the best chance to win on a weekly basis? Because like it's not DTR. So is it PJ Walker or is it Joe Flacco that gives them a better chance?
I don't disagree with, like, I would start Flacco because he's not going to turn the ball over. But I think in the long run, like if the Browns actually want to make a playoff push or win a playoff game or 2, I don't think Flacco's the guy. But I mean, they don't have many other options, so it's fine, whatever.
I don't really see an option with either of them. I don't.
It's like, who's not
I think
gonna
we're
turn the
counting
ball
out the
over?
Browns a little too early. I
mean,
think
their schedule-
Flacco makes them a real wild card.
I mean, I still think because their schedule's easy, but when we say easy, it's still like, I think it's the Jets 1 week and the Bengals another week, and then the Bears flipped in there. So like the Bears obviously should be a win, but I think the Jets could really stifle them, and same with the Bengals. They already beat the Bengals once. Browns like never beat a team twice in their division. So Who you got, Luke?
I got Jags.
So we got Josie on the Browns and Hayden on the Browns. All right, next up we got a divisional matchup: Panthers and Saints.
Eli, you're up first.
I'll go Saints. I just think Panthers are too bad. I'll keep it simple.
Carolina sucks. The worst starting quarterback in the NFL, Derek Carr, might not play this week. That's a huge plus for the Saints if famous Jameis comes in. Whether it's Carr or Jameis, I'm going to go Saints beat the Panthers.
Where are the Jets starting at quarterback this week? I know I'm jumping around,
The report is that they want to put why am I blanking on his name? Zach back in. He doesn't want to.
so who would it be?
My question with that is,
Simeon.
They dropped.
How did
'cause
Zach-
They dropped? I'm
Boyle.
terrible with names right now. Boyle. They dropped Boyle. Like
So is the Carr being the worst quarterback in the league a joke or half joke?
Half joke.
Okay.
We'll go half.
how did Zach pronounce himself to be not
Well,
willing to start? Like,
They're
why?
saying that might not have been true because it's not a good situation. I mean, he's going into a fan base that doesn't like him, a team that might have given up on him before the season even started. Rodgers has said it's not true. Saleh has said it's not true. As always, the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle where he is skeptical to come back in, but he's I would say, especially after all of this, he will probably start this week. If not, Trevor Simeon's the only other option. Brett Rippon was signed to the practice squad today. But
Sorry, it's Saints Panthers. Sorry. I jumped ahead.
is Derek Carr out for the game?
I don't think they've announced
they
so
haven't
far.
announced it yet.
I think that the injury was bad, but also Derek Carr has played through some crazy
They're
stuff
also playing
before.
the Panthers though too.
Like
so.
the Panthers are the worst team in the league this year. Like I don't think it's really. I don't
You think
most
the
people
game
would-
the result changes whether or not it's Jameis or Carr?
It's divisional. It's a divisional game. I say this every single week. You cannot predict divisional games. Like at some point, the Panthers are probably going to win a second game this year. Probably not certainly. Why not a divisional game? Like
Against an team with a banged up quarterback.
yeah, and that's the thing is like I mean I'm still going to choose the Saints, but I also want to say that like I'm cautiously choosing that because like I could actually see the Panthers winning this game.
I'll write down cautiously. So.
Cautiously, yeah, that's right. Give me half a point if I get it, and a whole point if I get the Panthers.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Win-win.
Remember when Josie said that they were going to be competing for the number 1 seed?
I mean,
The
up until all
Panthers
the
or the
injuries.
Saints?
Saints.
Up until all the injuries.
Michael
Look,
Thomas.
look, you're hating
Saints fans are booing him, cheering when Taysom comes onto the
Listen,
field.
you're hating on Derek Carr, but like they were in a 21-point hold to start that game, and he brought them back until he got injured. Like he was
bring
on
them back?
fire. He hit
Taysom
11
got a lot
straight-
of reps at quarterback. Kamara had a couple
He hit
touchdowns.
11 straight passes at one point in the game to bring them back into that game. Like
Shouldn't
Derek
have been in
Carr,
that spot anyway.
Derek Carr put them on his shoulders in that game. I'm not saying he's great.
I'm sure if you go
The
back and
defense also didn't let them score again until the fourth quarter,
Yeah,
though.
because I talked about the defense before the season too.
Okay.
The defense was. I'm
sure you-
Anyway, we're getting too off track.
I'm sure if you went back and watched our first episode, it'd be filled with cold takes.
Oh, yeah. To be fair, I thought the Panthers were going to be all right. So
Playoff.
I do want to point out since Christian's not here, his take on the Chiefs, but also he said that the Colts would be a playoff team. He said that he could see the Colts being a playoff team, and I made a face, if you remember. And the Colts are in the playoff picture right now, so good for Christian.
I'm gonna go Saints as well. I think no matter who starts at quarterback, they will pull it away just because it is the Panthers. I like their 2 quarterback look with it's either Derek Carr, Taysom Hill, or Jameis or Taysom Hill. And I like Kamara this week as well, coming in and hopefully running all over that Carolina Panthers defense.
Saints.
All on the Saints. Looks
Didn't
good
Brian
for the
Burns get
Panthers.
ejected from the game on Sunday or something happened with him?
I'm not
Who?
sure. Brian
Did
Burns.
Brian Burns get a no?
I'll look it up.
I think the only ejection was in the 49ers.
Dre Greenlaw.
And,
And
Dom.
Yeah.
Big Dom.
Big Dom.
Big Dom.
Yeah, he punched Cody Mock.
Yeah, and he got I thought he got ejected. Yeah, he was like halfway through a game too.
Yeah, late in the fourth, it looks like,
Yeah.
or middle of the fourth. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I watched this fun video. The next one is the Bucks Falcons, another NFC South matchup.
It's your
We're
turn.
going backwards? No, isn't Cooper me? Because he won last.
No, it doesn't matter.
You go. You're up.
All right, Bucks. Give me Baker Mayfield. One of my top 5 favorite quarterbacks in the league.
All right, real quick. Top 5 favorite quarterbacks of Cooper's.
Alrighty, give me Kenny at 1.
Oh, my gosh.
Give me all right.
Guess we gotta-
It's his list. It's his
my
list.
list.
It's
It
his
is my
list.
list.
Speak your truth, King. You got
Thank
it.
you.
list.
Thank you. Give me Kenny 1.
Kenny 2.
No,
three.
no.
Mason 2.
Put me on the spot.
All right, let's go.
All right,
Put him on
number
the
2. Give me Josh Allen. He's carrying me in fantasy this year. 40 points before his bye week. And he didn't even play this week, and I still beat our number 1 seed.
My team does this every single year. I went on a 9-game winning streak. I was 10-2, and I lost in the first round of the playoffs because it happens every single year.
We got a playing game this
I
week.
know. It's you and
It's
I,
me
dude.
or you. Me or
It's
you.
me
For,
or you.
I do
Don't
not
even get me
deserve to be in it. You deserve to be in it. Your points for is like 300 more. I think I have the worst.
I also have the most points against. I don't know if you noticed. I'm the only person that's 1,900 points for and 1,900
I'm
points
awful right now, so you should deserve it, but we'll see what
See
happens.
what
this week.
happens. Yeah, I was just like, yeah. I saw it come up, and then I was like, oh, Eli needs to lose this week. And I was like, I play Eli. This is perfect.
Sucks for you guys that are right behind because you're like down 100 to him, but need him to win.
So
At my 3 spot, we have Tua Tagovailoa. I like how
before
he
this
bounced
year or
back
because of this year? Sorry.
because of this year.
Okay.
I liked how he bounced back from all the hate last year, and he's been playing lights out. He's hopefully going to have the first 2,000-yard receiver in NFL history, which he's 500 yards away?
600,
600?
550. Yeah.
Okay. And I like his new arm sleeve too. It's cool.
Are you just doing active quarterbacks, or did you forgot
I'm doing
to put,
active,
Did you
yeah.
forgot to put Deshaun in there? Or?
So you like Tua with dreads? Or when
No,
he had
I
cornrows.
don't.
Sorry,
I don't like the
cornrows.
cornrows. No, I don't like them.
Why not? Why don't you like cornrows?
Okay, number 4.
Alrighty. Number 4, gimme Baker. I hated Baker on the Browns because we'd kill him every week. TJ'd get 4 sacks every game against him. I love the rivalry, but I hated Baker. But now, since he's been on other teams, I like his competitive edge. And I like how he doesn't really find ways to win a lot of the times, but he wins sometimes.
Number 5.
How many
Nathan
sacks
Peterman.
did TJ have in that
Number
playoff game?
5.
Shut up.
I'm gonna go this kind of.
Trace
I'm
McSorley. Trace McSorley.
I was gonna go. Yes, thank you, Trace McSorley.
Copyrights to the song.
Throw it on a dime.
There's no reason I should like Trace McSorley, but he's a Yinzer now, so I have to support. And he went to Penn State, and he was there with Saquon, and I liked watching Saquon. And that's really it.
Some of his NFL action came up against the Steelers in the game when he was dotting them up.
Yeah, they're like
Wednesday
70-yard
night football
pass.
When
game.
he was dotting the Steelers up
Ravens,
in that
right?
game. Yeah, when the Ravens
That was
drafted
awesome.
him.
Hollywood Brown had his first touchdown.
He was dotting them up that game too. Maybe that's why Steelers Nation is like a little bit of rumblings about.
I don't think there's rumbling. Where have you
I
seen
don't know if there's rumblings
about
either.
Trace McSorley?
Everybody wants him to
Just
start.
wait. Just wait.
So good.
All right, Josie, Falcons, Bucks.
My gut tells me to choose the Falcons, but I'm gonna choose the Bucks just because I've been high on the Bucks all year. I think they've had a bad go of it in the past couple of games, but I do think that they're. I think they're still a borderline playoff team if they can put a few games together. So
I'm going to go Tampa Bay as well, which I just changed my mind about it. Atlanta seems to be like they had the chance to pull away from the rest of the division and secure that NFC South up. However, I've been a believer in Baker, Mike Evans, and Todd Bowles from the beginning. This is their last chance. So if they can't pull this one out, then I'm counting them completely out. Might not pick them again the rest of the season.
Just my go ahead.
I was gonna say this would put the Bucks in first place because they'd both be 6 and 7, and it would put the Bucks in first. I think with the tiebreaker, correct? So the Bucks would go to the top of the division if they win this game.
Trying to see if they played.
I think they already played,
Did they? Okay.
but
Just kind of my rule of thumb when picking or making some fun bets. Whenever there's a home favorite especially, and everybody's going against that home favorite, I usually just say, screw it, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just going to go with the favorite. So I'll go Falcons just because they're the favorite. They're at home. If everybody's going Bucks, I'll go Falcons just for fun.
update before Luke's pick. The Falcons did beat Tampa Bay 16-13 on October 22nd.
Go Bucks.
So they just need to beat them by more than 3 to take over the top spot in the division.
Next up, Texans.
Omaha. Coming up. All right, boys, we got Will You Press the Button today. Here's the situation.
What?
You guys haven't heard of like Will You Press the Button? Okay.
I thought. Never
Here's
mind.
the situation. Your favorite team, so all of us Steelers except in your case Eli Browns, your team goes to the Super Bowl and loses. But your big parlay hit. Will you press the button, and what is that amount of money that would make it worth it for you?
Wait, so if I don't press the button, then they win the Super Bowl?
If you don't press the button, nothing
they-
happens.
Well, then I'm gonna press. Wait.
But you might. Okay.
Yeah,
Press
what?
the button, your favorite team goes to the Super Bowl, loses, but your big parlay hits.
So if I press this button, the Browns go to the Super Bowl and my parlay hits.
Yeah.
Hit the button every time.
But they lose.
I don't care. The Browns are going to the Super Bowl and I'm getting money. I'll take
What's the amount of money that you take? Like,
the lowest.
As
Yeah.
much as I can.
Nothing.
Dude, I haven't won a
Zero.
playoff game since 2016. I'm hitting the button.
So if I don't hit it, then the NFL just plays out how it would.
yeah.
I'll press the
I
button.
could come up with something different if you guys don't like it, but
No,
That's not a bad-
No,
I
I would hit the button. I haven't seen a playoff win since 2016.
Like a Super Bowl loss sucks, but it's the
I mean,
Browns.
it's devastating. Like, I remember 2010 Steelers losing to the Packers as a kid. Probably cried a little bit.
But I don't think it would be devastating for
Well, the Browns have never had a Super Bowl appearance,
Right.
So it's like it's a different perspective. I feel like I mean,
Would
not
you
to be
not
a
hit the
typical
button?
Steelers fan, but like, no, I'd hit the button.
yeah.
And
I'm not-
what's the amount of money that you win that makes it worth it? Because like when you do
$877 because that's what I had on a parlay a couple
Nice.
weeks ago.
Way to just
little
throw
mic
yourself
drop,
a
little
shout
mic
out
drop.
there.
I'd do it for $5,000. Yeah, probably.
It's a valid
it's a
number.
lot of pain. To do.
I don't know, $100.
I do it for $1 billion because it's life changing money, Luke.
Yeah, it is a life changing.
I mean, it's gonna be painful whenever the Steelers season ends anyway. So
what about if you hit the button, your parlay hits, but your team goes 0-34 the next 2 seasons? How much money?
How about 1-33 because that happened to the Browns?
How about 2-32 and they don't get the first? They
No,
don't
I'm not.
get number
I'm
one
not hitting the
overall.
button. Then I'm not.
How
hitting the
much
button.
money?
They don't
no
get the
money.
first-
No,
Yeah.
I'm not hitting the button.
Well, what if I spin it around and just like your team tanks the next year? Like, I don't know, 2 and
That means they get the first overall pick though.
okay, then they're just mid. They get something.
So
Well, the Steelers.
So the Steelers are going to go 9-8.
the standard is the standard.
I think
It's
2
not
and,
an eight.
2-32, but no first overall picks. They
So
traded
they
them away, or,
traded
something,
away their
or they
first
just don't
round
get
picks.
it.
So what the Browns did with
2
Watson.
years of no first round picks and only 2 wins.
But your parlay
or 0.
hits.
But your parlay hits. How much money?
How many sacks does TJ Watt have?
Does he get if he gets defensive player?
Yeah.
Imagine going
TJ breaks a sack record.
0-17 and winning defensive player of the year.
I would,
They
That'd
just
be
I would
lose every game like 3-0
yeah.
off a
seriously.
turnover, field goal.
I would press the button depending on TJ Watt's success.
I would press it for like 10 grand. I don't.
I was gonna
Browns,
say
I don't care
25. I'd push it for 25K. That's valid.
What about you, Luke?
I'd probably do it for like $3,000.
What's
But
the
next
biggest?
question? What would you cut off to
Yeah.
win a Super Bowl?
I
I'm
mean,
gonna censor out that
For a
whole
Super Bowl?
that whole conversation.
I would
Nah, nothing. I don't care about a Super Bowl enough to
cut
cut.
off. I would
something
cut off my left hand.
your left.
Jeez,
hand.
Louise.
Holy crap! For one Super Bowl as a fan.
All right, here
you cut
I
off
would,
a
I would cut
hand?
off my beard.
If I could have a guarantee,
I would cut off my beard only because it'll be back in like 2
That's a
weeks.
good one.
So
you guys
I would
let
cut-
it. It's your left hand.
It would take like.
I thought you were
8
gonna say
days.
like your left pinky toe. Or
No,
something,
my
not
left
your
I would
hand.
cut off one of my. Probably one of my middle toes.
You know how
actually.
hard it is to do so many things
Your
one-handed.
left hand. Honestly, you would actually cut off your left hand.
If I had a guaranteed Super Bowl, I don't
Look,
think
you
that
are
this is
not.
that
This is
controversial.
Hayden. This is Hayden carrying a bowl of soup after he
think
cuts his
that's a-
hand off.
I don't think
carrying a
that
bowl of
left
soup. He
hand.
drops it all over himself.
Well, I don't.
You're so serious.
A left
For a
hand.
guaranteed Super Bowl?
you for real,
Yeah.
I'd cut
dude,
my
that
left
like
fingernail.
Your life is like. Never mind. I'm not gonna.
That's why.
Like-
That's actually why.
Because if we have no left-handers, sorry, shout out to the people watching with no left hand.
Your aunt.
Luke's a lefty.
My aunt.
Luke's
my
a
mom.
lefty.
Oh, but she has. That's different. You're saying you're cutting off your hand, not like.
my left hand? I don't use my left
Yes,
hand.
you
Yes,
do.
you do. You were just using it when you were throwing your football.
Yeah. What?
Well,
How are you gonna throw your football?
Hey, when you write on a piece of paper, how do you keep it still?
He's
If
gonna
you're
keep it still
right-handed,
with his
you keep
nub.
I use like my forearm.
You do not.
I do not. I do not hold on to my piece of paper with my hand.
You do it just like this.
Plus, who writes on paper anymore? Laptops.
Yeah,
That's how you're gonna have to type.
You get a one.
It's all right. I don't think that
For
this is
one
that big of a
Super
deal.
Bowl, like that doesn't like.
I mean, hey, it's we said it's his list. It's his list. Whatever he wants
I don't.
to cut off.
I
he's gonna do
honestly don't think that was that
It doesn't
crazy.
affect me.
What would you cut off for 5 straight Super Bowls?
it. His family. Aaron Rodgers style.
Both arms. Would you
Wait,
cut off
win?
both arms?
Win or appearance? 5 straight Super Bowl wins or appearances?
Wins. 5 straight Super Bowl wins.
That's a dumb.
I wouldn't have fun with that because it's the,
So you wouldn't cut off your left
we
hand?
talked about it last week. I enjoy like the parody. I'm almost as big of an NFL.
It's
fan
not a
as Steelers
guarantee,
fan.
but it's going to happen. But you still get the thrill of you don't know.
Yeah, I would say left hand would be standard for 1 Super Bowl all the way up to 5. Like, I don't know. Like, dude, we haven't won a playoff game since 2016.
So you cut off your left hand?
They're gonna reach out to Hayden.
What?
The people who read the NFL script. Reach out to Hayden. Be like, yo, we heard.
I don't know. I didn't realize
that's
I was going
wild.
to surprise you guys. I don't know.
That was the
Left hand is
Like,
crazy.
would you press the button stuff? Like, your team wins the Super Bowl, but the entire NFL social media page is Taylor Swift. You'll never see.
Yes? Are
Here's
you
one.
kidding me?
I don't care.
Yeah.
All related posts
Here's one.
ever again.
You have a kickoff return for a touchdown, but you turn around and the entire field has been bombed and just like falls to the ground.
Yeah.
Wait,
Like in
Like
Batman.
Batman?
Like in Batman, yeah.
You know they actually like filmed that in Pittsburgh and like the Steelers were like.
There's a lot of Steelers in
Yeah.
that. If you watch,
Hines
there's a
Ward,
lot.
Aaron Smith,
Yeah.
Tom, Omar Khan's in it.
Omar Khan's in it. Yep.
Ben.
Kiesel.
I like how this just turned into like a middle school lunch table conversation.
Catch the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Rename the
It's
podcast.
like, we gotta get through our picks, guys.
Yeah. All right. Let's say if somebody's going against like one, like if everybody agrees on one, we'll just go to the next. So the next one is Jets Texans. Is anybody going Jets?
Texans. I heard a little lip smack there. Are you going Jets?
No, I'm not going Jets.
Okay, it
Does
sounded
one-
like you might
Does one person want to say why they're going Texans over the Jets? We don't have
because
to.
it's the Texans
Yeah.
and the Jets.
Thank you, Josie.
Thank you.
Well,
We
if-
don't have a great analysis for that
yeah.
one.
Well, if that one wasn't great analysis, the next one's the Lions Bears. So
Huh?
Lines.
See, I actually feel like this is kind of like the Cardinals last week, where I actually wouldn't be surprised if Chicago pulls this one off, but I'm not brave enough to actually predict
It's
it.
definitely possible.
so everybody.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they beat Minnesota just 2 weeks ago.
everybody going Lions.
Not Minnesota without. I mean, Josh Dobbs is good.
Detroit
Yeah,
hasn't
Lions.
looked great the past few weeks.
It's going to be
Lions.
hard to beat Detroit in December and January because of their line and their run game.
It's not going to
Going
be.
Lions.
It's not going to be a blowout. I would take the. I would.
Why
not-
do you think
24
it won't
to
be
10. 24
Because
to
it's a
10
divisional game. I hate to sound like a broken record, but like
in Chicago.
I don't know what the
outdoors.
spread's going to be for this, but I would not expect the Lions to cover the spread in this. If it's like 9.5 or 10, like I would not expect Detroit to cover 9.5 or 10.
David
points in this
Montgomery,
game.
3 touchdowns. They win 24 to 10.
Next one is Ravens Rams. Rams at the Ravens.
Yeah. That's a game of the week right there, maybe.
Be a
Really?
good one.
Yeah.
I think the Rams aren't that good. I just think the Browns stink.
When Kyron Williams, Puka, and Cup are on the field, they're averaging 33 points a game.
Can't believe Puka came back last week. Looked like it was like a rib or something.
Yeah, I can't believe he came back either.
I can believe he came back because he went to score me what 20, 30 points.
23.6.
23?
23.
That jet sweep he was killing it on too.
I'm gonna go Rams.
Okay. I'm going Ravens.
Shout out to our Baltimore friends of the show. Go be more.
Did you pick yet, Hayden? For this one? Or am I going before
That's
you?
what I just said.
I thought you were shouting at your Baltimore friends.
I did by picking.
It sounded like B More might have been a. I understand, but
Rams. Give me Rams.
why?
Why?
I'm trying to.
They're hot.
Why?
They're hot right now.
Is that better?
I know the Ravens are too, but at some point the Ravens are going to lose another game, and they have one of the toughest schedules in the entire NFL to end the season. So I don't know. Not a trap game because I do think that the Rams are good, but I see the Rams winning this game. So
Things are going too right for Baltimore
That's-
right now.
yeah.
I think
And, like, I
Baltimore,
don't-
Yeah.
Are they though?
And I would
How
never-
many injuries they've had.
I mean,
this
if
is
you
about
look at like power rankings throughout like sports websites,
Yeah.
a lot of people have
Number
them
one
at
in the
number
AFC.
one.
and this is about the time of year. Knock on wood. I hope this doesn't happen. This is about the time of year that Lamar Jackson will get hurt
a little bit.
And so, like, I hope that it doesn't happen, but like, too much is going right for them right now.
You don't.
I like Lamar. I don't like the Ravens. I do not like that he's on the Ravens. I like Lamar. I always have.
It's gonna be 57 degrees in Baltimore.
You guys want to go?
Dude, that's like
6 hour
a
drive.
heat wave for us up north here.
That was so nice.
I'd take a 50-degree day.
Who you got?
Give me Rams.
Ooh, little split. We have actually more people on the Rams.
I want the Rams to win, but for that reason, that makes me not want to pick them even more.
I can see either one of these teams winning. I'm just going Rams.
Next up, another big one in the AFC North, Bengals versus the Colts.
I'll go first. I'm going Bungles, actually.
Browning looked good.
I think, well, it's not even, I think the Bengals have figured it out with Chase and Mixon, but it's really more about the Colts. I'm not a believer still necessarily. And I love Minshew. If he continues on this trend, he's played himself into a starting job, a real starting job, not just a bridge quarterback. But I'm just not a believer. First year head coach. Jonathan Taylor's probably not going to play again. It's going to be Zach Moss. Going Cincy.
I think Jake Browning has a awful game, but I still think the Bengals win. I just think when you see players like this come off the bench and have an amazing game, it's usually not sustained. Maybe one team is taking them lightly or isn't prepared for them. I think the Colts will be prepared, but I also don't trust the Colts offense. I don't think I think he's overrated just because he had a fun few games. Going Bengals, but ugly game, I think.
I'm going to be different and go Colts just for your exact reason. I don't think Browning's going to have nearly the game that he did. He used all his luck on Monday.
Yeah, I'm going to go Colts. I think that there's tape on Browning now, which is a big thing. Like, there was a little bit of tape on him from the first game he played. There's quite a bit now, so teams are going to scheme for him better. In addition to that, a lot went right for them to win on Monday night. There's a lot that happened that made them win that game. I think that they played well. He played well, and a lot went right as well. So I envision the Colts winning this game.
Colts are actually favored by a point.
Yeah.
There's tape on Browning. It's just from the 2016 college football playoffs.
Yeah.
But I mean,
or from the Manning. Wasn't he at the
Sensation
Manning passing academy? Yeah.
Overrated Washington 2016.
sore subject. A little bias from the Penn State fan, but Webster.
That was pretty tough for me because I think I picked the Colts like almost every single week, but I feel like the Bengals are just on fire Monday night. I'm going Bengals.
Next up, kind of a average game, Raiders Vikings.
I'll start it off. I'll go with the Vikings. I like what they're doing there with Dobbs. And is he starting this week?
Yeah.
I would assume so. I don't think they've come out and
I
said
don't think
it,
they're
but
going to play Mullins. I mean, I would assume they're going to play
Yeah.
Is
Dobbs.
it an injury thing or
performance.
Yeah,
thing.
like
It's
four
four
interceptions
picks.
his last game.
Not all of them
yeah.
were his fault, but yeah.
Yeah.
Josie?
I'm going to go Vikings based on literally one guy, and it's TJ Hawkinson. They need to get the ball to TJ Hawkinson. If they do, they'll win this game. Easy as that. I also have TJ Hawkinson going up against Eli, so I'm a little bit biased in that, and I need a dub.
I'm going
so,
against TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah. So TJ Hawkinson's that guy, highest paid tight end in the NFL, and should be the focal point of this offense without Jay Jettis there. So
Kind of like Tampa Bay, I want to be a believer in Antonio Pierce, just like I want to be a believer in Todd Bowles. I'm going to pick Vegas reluctantly. I'm not a huge Aiden O'Connell guy. If the Raiders can't pull this one off at home, then kind of same situation as Tampa. I don't know if I'll pick them the rest of the way, but I am going to give them the benefit of the doubt this week.
Similar to Josie's reasoning, because of fantasy stuff, I have Devontae Adams. I need a big week from him. You have Hawkinson, so I'm going to go Vikings because then if Devontae has a good game and the Raiders win, I'm
Eli's
happy because he had a good game.
psychology.
If he doesn't and Hawkinson goes off, at least my pick was right.
I'm glad we're getting Eli's rationale for these picks because,
Hey, who's in
know.
first place?
well, no, a couple people might have been confused why the Browns fan doesn't pick the Browns.
Never pick the Browns.
Into week 14.
Always pick the Steelers.
give me Vikings. Dobby's going off. He's having to come back here.
All right, Hayden's only one on the Raiders. Next up, we have the Red Hot Niners versus the Seahawks.
oh gosh, divisional
Be a
game.
good game.
I'm gonna say it again.
It's gonna be a good-
Divisional game.
Especially how good Seahawks play against.
It's at the Niners. Niners are hot. Niners win this game handily.
It's now or never for Seattle. That NFC wildcard race is really starting to heat up. However, give me CMC and Debo.
Yeah.
49ers.
Yeah.
We did our repicks a few weeks ago, and I kept the Niners as my Super Bowl team. I still think they're the best team in the league. I'm going Niners.
Going Niners, but like low key, I want to be wrong. Like I want to see Seattle kick the butts a little bit.
Do we think Purdy is right now Is Purdy getting MVP?
I like that you're bringing this
No,
up.
Dak is getting MVP.
Tyreek,
No,
Tyreek,
yes,
number 10
yes.
in white and
Yes.
teal. Are you kidding me?
This is
Can't
again,
always be a quarterback.
If Brock wins it, it's literally what we talked
This is
about
the
last
one
week.
year where a quarterback just won't get it. If Tyreek gets 2,000 yards and the Dolphins don't lose more than 2 more games the rest of the way, Miami, Tyreek Hill, MVP.
I was on board with the non-quarterback wanting to win it, but like the way Dak has played in these last 5 weeks is like, this is, again, I mentioned it with Lamar, this is the time of year when we start talking about should Dak be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, and he's playing the best year of his entire career right now. The last 5 games, he's been far and away the best quarterback in the league.
So with that, I'm going to
And I'm a Cowboys hater. Sorry, I'm a Cowboys hater. I want to put that out there, but
Let's skip a couple of the 4:30 games and go right to Eagles Cowboys then, because this would be a big one for Dak if he wants that MVP.
All right, Mr. Dak's MVP. Let's hear
Gotta
it.
go.
Let's
He's
hear
gotta
it.
win this game
Yeah.
if he's going to win MVP.
Let's hear it.
He's got.
You better pick Dallas
Right?
after that whole
Yeah.
rant.
Yeah. This is the
Yeah,
game
but-
for Dak. It's like
Let's
the
go.
Heisman
Let's-
moment in college.
Shouldn't
This would
even
be his
be-
MVP moment.
Let's hear it.
I'm not going to be peer pressure. I'm thinking. I'm gonna pick who I want.
His list.
Or you could do that reverse thing where you go Eagles, but if the Cowboys are good, then you're right about Dak.
Well, that's
but
a
if the
coward's
Eagles are
way
good,
out,
then you're
but-
right about the Eagles.
Somebody else go first. I'm thinking.
I'll go Dallas. Philly obviously pulled one out. Couple lucky calls went their way the first game. If Dallas can't win now, where everything seems to be going right for them and everything seems to be going wrong for Philly, then Dallas just shouldn't win the division. This is a game that if they want to be taken seriously as NFC contenders, Super Bowl contenders, even NFC East contenders, this is a game that they just have to pull out. I'm going to say that Big Mike McCarthy ends up doing it.
Give me the Eagles by 30 points.
All right.
You laugh. You laugh now. 37-7.
All right.
All right.
This year, yeah?
Yeah, Eagles
Yeah,
won.
Eagles won in a close one.
Who did Eagles just play this past week?
They lost to
Niners.
Niners.
That's right.
Big.
Eagles are not going to lose 2 big games back to back.
Against 2 good teams, though.
Eli put you down for the score also. So.
All right. Thank you.
You are welcome. Luke, you got a pick?
I'm going Eagles.
Josie.
All right, Dak MVP. Let's
I'm gonna
I
go.
think it'll be a shootout. Though.
I think that's exactly the route I was going to go. I think both these teams are going to score 30 plus this game. It's going to be an offensive shootout. I think that the reason that I'm giving the Eagles the edge in this is because of the tush push, and it's going to give Roger Goodell even more ammunition to save his darling Cowboys
So
and
stupid.
make the tush push illegal.
So awful.
I don't think they should make it illegal because
agree.
Steelers were 4th and 1 on the 1, and we didn't do it.
Yeah. All I'm saying is if they make that push illegal, I have to make all pushes illegal. I see this play all the time where a
Which
player
is-
stops
that
short
was
in a
the
group
rule
of
for a long
people.
time.
And his
But then it
team comes
wasn't
and
called,
pushes
so
them.
they just got rid of the rule.
Yeah, so like if they make the tush push illegal, they have to make that push illegal as well.
I
I
hate.
think it'd be so stupid.
Yeah,
for them to
me
make.
too. I hate when people are like, "This isn't the way the football was designed to be played," and then you see like the 1900 clips, and they're like 2-hand chest passing, and it's like they also wouldn't want Mahomes running all over the field. Like that's just an awful argument for this game. Eagles won the first game. Eagles had the better record. Eagles control the NFC, but the Cowboys are favored. I think Vegas knows something, so I'm gonna go Cowboys. Back to the 4:30 game on the West Coast. We got AFC West matchup and Broncos at the Chargers. Pretty fun one.
Very fun.
That's
one.
sarcasm.
No, I think that's
The
Fun.
Chargers won 6-0 against the Patriots, and
Good.
I think this will be a fun game.
I disagree.
It's
I
divisional.
think they're really
This is
even.
going to be tough, I think, honestly.
I'm going Broncos.
That's right.
Right now they're playing better as a team than the Chargers are.
Right.
So
Free Herbert.
Or fire Staley.
Free Herbert.
fire Kellen Moore.
We'll see.
Keep Staley, fire Kellen Moore.
Yeah, I don't know. Herbert didn't play that great last
Herbert
week.
didn't-
Overrated.
I would. Yes.
All right. You guys both went
Broncos.
Denver?
I went.
All right.
Yeah, I went
Broncos.
Denver.
Let's Russell.
Eli,
I don't know where you're going.
I'll tell you after you're done.
Luke, who you got?
Broncos country, let's ride.
All right, so we got 3 Broncos.
Curious to see where Christian will go with these picks too.
Well, he's just gonna go off on whatever we all
He's
pick.
gonna, yeah. He's gonna pick one game different than Hayden and hope that one hits, so then he can get a game up.
I don't think he will.
My gut's telling me Broncos, but at Chargers favored. Everybody's going Broncos. I'll go Chargers. Stick to my.
Bolt up.
That
I
makes
think-
me want to go.
No, go for it. I don't know if it's just kind of a now or never kind of vibe to the week, but I'm gonna continue that trend with my picks. Brandon Staley, every loss I think is just a ticking time bomb for his Chargers tenure. I'm gonna say he gets it. I think that Denver's win streak was a little inflated, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Russell, the good things that Russell were doing were less of good things and more just a lack of doing bad things. And that's what we have seen over the past year and a half. We saw a fumble and 3 interceptions, the one that lost the game in Houston. I actually think Houston proved that they were legit and Denver kind of exposed themselves as phonies. We kind of lost sight of that. They were the hottest team in football. I don't think the Chargers are anything to write home about. I still think Staley gets fired before the season is over. However, I do see them getting maybe his last win as the Chargers head coach.
I'll stick with the Chargers. Next one, fun one, Bills Chiefs. 2 teams that really, 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 really need a win right now. And the Bills are 1-4 away from home, and it is in Kansas City. 4:30.
Let's go, Buffalo.
So statistically, Buffalo can lose one more game and still make the playoffs.
I don't think
There's a
any
road
Buffalo wins.
to them losing one more game and still making the playoffs.
Don't you hate the Bills?
I do. I
You
think
hate the Chiefs more? Or you
I think
trust
that
them
the
this week?
Chiefs, and it's almost like a backhanded compliment, but they play down to their competition at times. I think we've seen it a lot this year. I still am a firm believer in the Chiefs when postseason rolls around. I said this last year to Josie when the Bills and the Chiefs played each other in the regular season. Whoever lost in the regular season matchup, I would pick to win the AFC when January came around with the playoffs. I kind of still have that same mindset. I trust Buffalo more in a desperation mode, and I trust Kansas City more when it actually matters. I don't know what's going on with Kansas City, but I still think that they're going to find their way into the postseason. And then if you let Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce into the playoffs, then we've seen the story the past 5 years.
I'm going to go Chiefs too, just because their experience in December and just their all-around playmakers. I just don't know if Josh Allen's ever going to beat Mahomes when it matters.
I was gonna say they did
Yeah.
in the regular season,
Yeah.
but then they lost postseason like 2 years
Yeah.
ago, I think it was. I'm going Bills. I just think that right now the Bills are playing much better, and I think that when you watch the Chiefs, obviously you talk about their receivers, but like let's talk about Travis Kelce playing super unmotivated. Like he's out there like sauntering, like it doesn't look like he actually wants to be out there. Like I know we talked about this before, but like maybe this is a bomb for some people, but like I think Jason and Travis Kelce both retire after this season. And just watching him play is like this is a completely different Travis Kelce than we've ever seen. And it almost looks like Mahomes is out there by himself with Pacheco, running like a kindergartner, running super hard through people.
With that said, even though there seems to be a little bit of a lack of effort at times with Kelce, I still think he's the best tight end this year, far and wide, which is once again just kind of credit to how good he is. I was thinking both of them are probably first ballot Hall of Famers. Do you think that they would love to enter Canton together, or do you think that they would kind of rain on each other's parade and want each their own year?
I mean, they have a podcast together and they get along. It's not like you can tell that there's chemistry between them on the podcast. It's not fake. It's not like manufactured. Like you can tell that they genuinely like each other.
If Travis retired and then him and Taylor Swift broke up, you think he would come back and play again?
No.
I'm done talking about Taylor Swift.
No.
I think he would. I think that's what's going to
I
happen.
don't know. Taylor gets done with her big tour. Kelce wins another Super Bowl. Do they
This is
just
all getting cut out.
they kind of just disappear for
Who
a
you got?
Chiefs. Chiefs are gonna be like, guys, we just lost to Jordan Love and the Packers. Time to wake up. Time to get in playoff mode.
Yeah. I really, really, really want to pick the Bills, but again, in KC's favored. I'll just suck it up and go Chiefs.
So was that the only one pick the Bills? Was that the only one? You
I
picked
hate
it.
them.
Okay, that's right. You said let's go Buffalo.
All right, we got 2 Monday night games this week. One being the Packers at the Giants. Jordan Love coming off a great game, but he's had a couple great games already this year and then follows it up with a duck. But I think the Giants suck, so I'm going Packers.
Why do they have them at the same time?
I don't know what they were
They
doing
usually
with this.
stagger them like 7:30 and 8:25
Yeah.
or something.
Who knows?
But they are at the same time.
Yeah, that's true.
They're just trying everything because I don't know. I don't think Monday Night Football numbers are as good as they could be.
Well, they also have Troy Aikman and Joe Buck on the broadcast. So.
That was painful last night.
I wonder if the Mannings will do like both at the same time.
I think they are. That's what they said last night. I think.
that'd be cool.
I'm gonna go Green Bay. Also, I was big on Green Bay and the Rams in the preseason. They kind of both had their down moments earlier on in the year. Now they both seem to be on the upswing again. I think the Tommy DeVito thing is just a fling. I know the Giants are 4-8 and seem to be headed back in the right direction. I've been pretty adamant that Brian Dable is a good head coach, but the rest of the team is just not there. I'm gonna take Green Bay.
Is anybody going Giants? If not, we can
I'm going
save some
Giants.
time. Okay, sweet. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking DeVito. He's hot, like you said, but you don't think.
Me and Eli saw DeVito play live multiple times. Do you know
DeVito.
that? Do you know that?
Really? No.
At Syracuse.
Yeah,
he was awful. He was
Got
awful.
He's not gonna be awful Monday at 8:15
Yeah.
because he's gonna be.
Like watching him live and then now seeing him on TV, it amazes me that he is an NFL quarterback. He was terrible. Like couldn't throw the ball more than 3 yards against like Albany, University of Albany.
All right.
But
Okay.
I'm going Packers. I think that. I mean, I talked about this is a make it year for Matt LaFleur. I don't think he's on the hot seat by any means, but like he needs to prove that like he can coach without Aaron Rodgers. And I think that their last couple games prove that like they're turning something on. So I think their biggest flaw is the fact that they don't have an alpha receiver right now. They need a guy who's going to establish himself as their number one.
Give me the cheese.
All right, last one. Anybody going
love
Titans?
cheese.
I thought he
Give me
said
the
Chiefs.
heads. No, I said cheese.
I thought it was going Chiefs, but then he said cheese.
Cheese heads.
I love cheese.
Anybody going Titans over the Dolphins?
I like
Not a
Colby
chance.
Jack, cheddar, pepper jack, Parmesan.
American.
Cheese tier.
Not
Pimento.
American.
Pimento.
Pimento's okay. Shout out Casey Hartley.
Omaha top 5 cheeses. Everybody good.
Sharp
Or just
cheddar.
favorite
so-
cheese.
Honestly, don't know.
Sharp
Cooper
cheddar.
cheese?
What?
Colby
Pepper Jack, Swiss. I like Swiss. I'm a Swiss guy.
Christian's a big Swiss,
Swiss on
guy.
a chicken like a fried chicken sandwich. It's very
Give me
good.
provolone.
Or Reuben. A Reuben with Swiss on it.
Ooh,
Mozzarella.
yeah, like a
Chick-fil-A cheese
Cuban
sauce.
too. A Cuban with some
By
sauce.
the, dude, we might need some Kelsey mac soon.
Best mac and cheese ever made.
I'm gonna go Gouda or Howda.
Ooh, Gouda's a good one.
Yeah, shout out Bosco Josh
So
for the culture. He's Dutch.
when I was at Syracuse my freshman year of college, they would do a make your own grilled cheese station. And what they would do is they would get like, it was like movie theater butter popcorn to butter the bread. So you get to choose your bread. They would lather it up. And then I would do 1 slice of Gouda, 1 slice of sharp cheddar, and then like a pile of shredded cheddar. And then there was some more too. There was like,
Pepperoni.
no, I didn't do pepperoni, but I would add bacon and ham to it. And then, so it was Gouda, cheddar, mozzarella.
There's some pesto on there.
Oh, yes, they did have pesto that you could do with the oh my gosh.
Number one
Any
most
side dish?
overrated cheese.
Tomato soup.
American.
Well, I mean, anything you want
American's
at
the
the
most
dining hall.
overrated cheese.
It's not even cheese.
It's not.
funny.
It's embarrassing that we call that American cheese.
It's
Be-
just the most processed.
yes, we should have the best.
I would never have lunch. I would have a late breakfast and early dinner. And every time there was grilled cheese day, Hayden would call me and be like, dude, it's grilled cheese day. Just eat lunch this one time.
I would walk like how long was that? Probably like a 2-mile walk uphill
Just for some.
for
Both ways.
to
Uphill
eat at
both
to
ways.
eat at the dining
In the
hill.
wind tunnel.
Uh,
Shout out Ernie Davis
I would start.
dining hall.
Yeah. What's that? Dom. Shout out Dom. He
Dom.
would always hit on the college girls. Love him.
One last cheese talk. I found this new onion cheese. They sell it.
Onion cheese.
That sounds gross.
Sounds like something
It's
from
like
Diary of a Wimpy
something-
Kid.
Sounds like something my
the-
dad would just like put on
It's
everything.
like something steakhouse onion cheese. It's
What do you guys want from Little Caesars? Get the onion cheese. 2 liters. Yeah, that was.
Oh,
That was a
Cooper,
funny-
you and my dad get along really well.
He's like,
Yeah.
they don't have any Dr. Pepper. Ah, forget it.
Shout out Gary.
All right. Anyway, last one. Is anybody going Titans over the Dolphins? Or are we all sticking Dolphins?
Dolphins by 24.
Dolphins.
Yes. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Alternate spread 23.5.
Titans let me down last week. I'll go Fins.
23.5.
That went by 24. Like, let's be honest.
All right. And that is all of them.
All right, so we'll have Christian and Kelsey fill in their picks, and then those will obviously show up on the picks graphic. Hopefully, Cooper will do better with these picks than he did with. Are you raising your hand?
No, I'm covering. the
Oh,
screen.
okay. Hopefully, Cooper does better than Naples. Go ahead, Josie.
All right, trivia for today. It's less of a trivia and more of a list that we're going to do. So I had this random thought today that I was like, I wonder if every combination of initials, if you could name a player for, so like you go AA, AB, AC. So like today I want to go through the
okay,
A's
okay.
and see if you guys can name a player for each A and then A through Z.
Bro, AZ. That's going to be so hard.
We'll get one.
When we get to the end, I made a list of ones that I came up with off my dome, and there were a couple that I had to look up because of. So like if we get to those ones, I'll probably just like, okay, this is.
Is it just players, or can you do staff and coaching?
So I would say you could do anybody, like, to make it a little bit easier. We could if we're
can just
struggling
try
with some.
players and then-
Yeah, like I consider like, okay, maybe we could open it up to like, all sports, or we could open up to
That's a good idea.
coaches and this and that, whatever.
Get some
But,
random
yeah.
Russian hockey player for AZ.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Obviously, you have to name a
Zelensky.
player. Bonus points if you get the player that I put on my list.
Adrian Amos.
That's a good one.
Antonio Andrews.
Okay.
Go ahead, Cooper.
I'm thinking.
If you don't have one, it's fine. Like
Hold on.
We only need one.
Yeah, we only need one.
I'm just trying to get his.
You
on
did
Do you
not
there.
remember
mine.
Antonio Andrews?
I know the name. I
The
don't remember
running
him
back for the
specifically.
Titans. He was like in between.
Bishop Sankey.
It was
Oh, I
in
love
between like
Bishop
Bishop
Sankey.
Sankey
Yeah.
and
Washington.
Bishop Sankey, Jake Browning,
Bishop.
teammates. Shout out.
Dude, Bishop Sankey he hyped himself up so much.
I don't know if Bishop was on the 2016 team though, was he?
He was.
Might have
You're
been.
right. You're
But he
right.
might. He might have played with him.
He was
though.
drafted in 2014.
Give me a go.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking.
All right.
Mine
yeah.
was Eric Armstead.
Okay. So
Okay.
did you go with like the first one that came to mind? So like AB, like did you
I
go?
did not choose. I
Okay.
did not choose
All right.
Antonio.
So you
Brown.
like kind of had fun with it.
A couple of them, yeah.
Okay.
So
I was
I
gonna
did
go
some.
AB.
I did some legends too.
Yeah,
They're not
I
all
was
active
too.
players.
All right, AB for AB.
Anthony
Well, no,
Barr.
AB. What is AB? Ooh, Anthony Barr is a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. You got one?
I was gonna go AB. Is Beathard's first name Al? I don't know
No,
why I'm thinking.
CJ Beathard.
Why am I thinking
Beathard.
Alex? Who's Alex Beathard?
This isn't who I put on my list, but there's also AJ Brown. There's Antonio Martin and AJ
yeah.
Brown.
Okay.
I put AJ Boye.
Oh, that's a good one. Good one.
Yep.
I don't know.
AC. This
Antonio
is
Alex
Cromartie.
Kappa.
Yeah.
that's a good one too.
Thank you.
Antonio Cromartie was my answer.
That's a good one.
I was gonna give a hint that he's probably the best CB2 of all time. And so yeah, that's a good guess.
To Reba Sam Peters.
Who'd you have?
Antonio
I
Cromartie.
had Antonio Cromartie. Yeah. AD.
Aaron Donald.
That's a good one.
Hilda Pitt.
Not what I had on there.
No.
Luke, feel free to shoot in.
Yeah.
I'll try.
Andrew, Alex, AJ.
All day. Adrian Peterson. That's not
Well,
it.
you
Spoiler
gave
for
away
AP.
AP.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say that one if you wanted.
All right. Who did you get?
I put Andy Dalton.
Okay.
AE. This one took me a second, but it came to me eventually.
Is there an Everson?
Alex Erickson.
Ooh, that's a good one. I brought this guy up in a trivia like 4 or 5 episodes ago.
Dude.
Who'd you say? Emerson.
Alex Erickson. Alex Erickson,
Yeah, that's a
the
good one.
returner for Cincy.
I'll give you a hint.
Everson.
He's not active.
Or
He's not an active
Emerson?
player right now.
Emerson?
He's also not like a legend. He played pretty well.
All right, give it to us.
Andre Ellington.
Oh, okay.
Because I mentioned when I talked about the Clemson,
Yeah,
the Clemson receivers. AF.
Am I stupid? He's looking at us like we should know it.
Steelers fans should get this one.
Alan Franca?
Very close.
Alan Fenica?
Yes,
Alan
Alan
Faneca.
Faneca.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
good one.
That was the answer that I had.
There's
A-
got to be an A Ford that played in the NFL at some point, right?
Probably.
bonus point.
I'm not off the top of my
Andrew
head. I
Funk.
can't.
No, Andrew Funk is.
AG.
Antonio Gates.
That's my answer
Oh,
too.
boy,
Good,
Luke.
good call. Future Hall of Famer. We've mentioned him a couple times. Friend of the show. AH.
Oh,
Andre Holmes.
Alex Highsmith.
That's a good one too. None
That
of
is a
those
good
aren't the
one.
ones that I had.
Andre Holmes, Alex Highsmith. Who did you have?
Borderline Hall of Fame guy.
Probably it.
AJ Hawk.
Oh, he's not a borderline.
I know,
Hall of
he's
Fame
not,
guy.
AI. I enlisted some help
Iverson.
from Corey Miller on this
Artificial
one.
intelligence.
So here's the thing. You said it. I kept getting stuck on Allen Iverson, and I couldn't think of any NFL players because I kept going back
What's
to Allen.
the-
Alex Ingram.
Very close.
What's
Really?
Very close.
the guy
Melvin
this
Ingram.
one safety? The
I can't think of any last
Igbenose.
Alec Ingold.
That's it. Alec Ingold.
What's Igbenose or however you pronounce? What's his first name?
AJ Epinosa.
No, it's like IG.
Igbenemy or something like that.
Andre Iguodala.
Andre Iguodala, yeah.
Iguodala.
Yeah.
I want Andre Iguodala. You
All right,
seen
so-
that from Max Kellerman?
AJ, I had 2 for this one. So if you get either one. Because I like my second
Aaron
one so much.
Jones.
Aaron Jones, okay.
That's a good one.
That's not who I had. This was an easy one. AJ is just an easy one. There's a lot of AJs. A lot.
Aaron
Adam Jones.
Adam what?
Jones.
Adam Jones.
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man Jones. Yep, I had Adam Pac-Man Jones as one of mine.
Aaron
The other one is a bit obscure.
Yeah,
But if you've watched the NFL in the last 10 years, you've
looking
heard
up
this
Ohio
guy's
State
name.
safety Igbenose.
What position?
I'm going to tell you his teams actually. He played for the
Wait,
Ravens.
what's the next letter in the alphabet?
We're still on the. We're
We're
still
still
on
on
J.
AJ.
He played for the Ravens and then he played for the Broncos.
Doomerville? No.
AJ, not E.
I know. I was just
ED.
thinking.
Can you give me a position?
Fullback.
Oh, wait. The Ravens' 2 fullbacks that come to mind are Ron McClain and Vontae Leach.
That's more recent than that. Andy Janovich.
He was never on the
I
Ravens.
thought they drafted him.
He was Minnesota and Denver, I think.
Maybe I'm thinking of use check. Kyle,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
might have been use check that I was thinking.
So I went use check and then Rashard.
AK. Very easy one. Currently in the NFL. AK-47. He's actually AK-41.
Dude, this is
Alvin
like
Kamara.
Yes, thank you. AK-41. Yep. AL.
Eli's still going.
Alan Lazard.
through.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had.
Alan Lazard.
Yeah, Alan Lazard. AM.
Andrew No.
I went legend on this one. BT Dubs. BTW.
AM. Correct.
Correct. Greatest left tackle of all time.
Anthony Munoz.
Anthony Munoz. This one I had to go a little bit obscure for because there actually aren't many, surprisingly. AN. You know, that's Anthony Nelson played D-line for the Bucks.
Yeah.
As of a couple years ago, like 2020, I think.
Is he an
even.
Iowa guy?
No, he was Northwest. He was Big Ten, I think.
There's an Iowa guy on this list, but AO.
Oh, that's tough.
That is, but there is a semi-recent guy, probably in the last 10 years, who played in the league. He was a linebacker.
He's an Iowa guy. What was it? What are we on? Sorry.
AO. He
AO.
played in the league in the last 10 years. He's a linebacker.
Otto, Orlando, Alex Osman. Is there an Osman?
Osborne.
No. I mean, that's not the name I have. If you guys are looking at that one.
Making me think of people I think I know. No, just the
He played for the Rams, as I remember him.
No, I feel like a total brain fart right now.
He played for the Rams.
Oh, Alec Ogletree.
Alec Ogletree. That's it. Alec Ogletree. AP.
Adrian Peters.
That is the answer that I had. AQ. So I thought of AQ Shipley at first, but there is an AQ, and he was fairly
Questenberry? Wait.
Lloyd. That's Lloyd Questenberry. Yeah.
Well, or David Questenberry.
That was the
Cushenberry was.
I'll tell you this: there's only one player to ever have the initials AQ, and it's this guy.
Is he active?
No.
See, well, is he like no? Like, do we know him?
You'll know his name, I think, when it's said. He wasn't necessarily ever like a top-notch type player.
Andrew Corliss.
Yes. Nice get. Green Bay tight end. He's the only AQ.
Did he mess up that? Was he in that play with the onside kick?
That was Brandon Bostic, but he was on the team for that.
And he
Same
was
tight
on
end
that,
room.
like,
Wasn't
right
that
there with
also
them.
Brandon-
Richard Rogers was in on that too, wasn't he? He was in
Yeah,
a
they were
botch.
all in that tight end room. I don't know. Brandon Bostic was the one who botched it, but I don't know who else.
Another one with a lot of answers. AR.
Anthony Richardson.
Yep, that's one that I didn't have that on
Allen
here.
Robinson.
Allen Robinson. I didn't have that. I have two on mine, but it's neither
Aaron
one of those.
Rodgers.
And again, there's a lot.
Jeez.
There's a lot. ARs is it's a very common.
Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah, I mean not NFL, but I had Antoine Randall,
Ooh, good one.
and I also had Andre Reed. AS.
Alex Smith.
EQ Shipley.
Alex Smith is what
Yeah.
I was thinking as well.
That's not the one I had. He is an active player, young, 26, wide receiver.
Smith.
Very unique name.
Wait, A what?
AS.
Very unique first name or last name or both.
Both.
And
He has 4 names.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, wow.
The Saint is on the back of his brother's jersey. And so, like, it is St. Brown is their last name. So it is started with an S. AT. This was my personal favorite that I came up with. AT.
Andrew Tate.
What color's your Bugatti? What color's your Bugatti?
What?
What color's your Bugatti? It's a quote from it. Yeah.
I don't.
You listen
don't
to a
know.
lot of
AT.
Andrew Tate.
I do not.
I knew that quote too. And I
Yeah.
don't know this. No.
AT.
Cooper, you look like a guy who listens to a lot of Andrew Tate.
All right. Here's the hint. Ripped off Michael Crabtree's chain.
Keep
Akeem
Talib.
Keep Talib.
That's a good one.
That was one of my personal favorites that I put on there. I was a big Akeem Talib guy. I know he's
That's
a
a border.
schmuck,
That's
but,
a borderline Hall of Famer.
I mean, really, really good. The next one, the only one that played for AU, the only one that played after 1945 was a guy named Artie Ulmer. Artie Ulmer.
Dude, why did you say it? I was gonna
Because
get
you
that
were not
one.
It was on the tip of my tongue.
AV. You should get this guy. Been in the league.
Vaccaro.
Alejandro Villanueva.
What's
Oh,
Vaccaro's
too.
last
That's a
name?
good
Sonny.
one. That's what I
Sonny,
had.
right?
That was a
Sonny
good.
Vaccaro.
There's a guy who was drafted in the first round like 2-3 years ago. He's a lineman, offensive lineman. AV.
Is there Velasquez?
He has a hyphenated last name.
Vera Tucker, Elijah.
Elijah Vera Tucker. Yep. AW.
Ruby.
Again, there's quite a few.
Adolphus Washington, third round defensive tackle
Yeah.
for the Bills.
Yeah.
Is that who you had?
That is not who I had.
Is there
I have
Witherspoon?
I have a Hall of Famer that is currently waiting his 5 years.
So not a.
Did you say Whitworth?
Andrew Whitworth. Yep, Andrew Whitworth. All right, we have our first none. There have been
Really?
no players
Oh,
to have
I
the
didn't
initials
get-
AX to ever play in the NFL.
Someone should just like change their name.
There's I typed into
Sports Football Reference or whatever.
Yeah, it's on Pro Reference, I think.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
typed into Google NFL players whose last name starts with
X.
X, and
Initials
like
are.
I had to scroll through and look at for the A's.
All right, so let's come up with someone else. I'll look up most common last names that start with X. And then we can maybe.
Jimenez.
For like
it's
just
Jimenez.
athletes.
For all
It's-
sports. So.
Jimenez with an X.
Xavier. These are first
That's a
names.
first name, yeah. Ximines is Hispanic last name. It's Jimenez.
How do you know that?
Why don't you know that? I'm cultured. Anyway,
Wait, isn't there a linebacker on the Giants? His first name wouldn't start with an A, but Ximenez, isn't that his last name?
that sounds. I think you're right.
It starts with. It's like it would be an OX name, right?
I
Shonda
think
Ximenez.
something like that.
Here, continue. I'll look.
I
it
think that is who
I don't think
was
we're
the
gonna-
one player on the list, I believe. Anyway, AY. There's not many.
Young. Alex Young. Is there an
Very
Alex
close.
Young?
That's the last name.
Andrew Young. Adam Young.
Think nerdier.
Nerdy.
You'll get it. You'll get why I said nerdier in a second. E equals MC squared.
Oh, Albert Young.
Albert Young. He was a Minnesota running back from 2009 to 2010. He played for Iowa. And then the last one is AZ.
Can't even think of.
It's another tough one.
O'Shane Ximenez, by the way.
Yeah.
He's a free agent right now.
I can't even think of.
AZ is a tough one.
Last name.
There's some older guys that played in like the 20s and 30s, but there's one player who played from 2016 to 2020. He was a D lineman, I believe. He played for Detroit, Cincinnati, Cleveland, New Orleans, and San Francisco.
All right. No idea.
Oh, I thought you were.
it's not-
No,
it's-
I just heard all the teams and I was like, I'm not gonna know.
His name is Anthony Zettel.
Oh, Penn State.
No, that's actually who. All right,
He's Penn Stater, really?
yeah.
I must have missed that.
because he was actually decent for a couple.
Yeah,
of years.
he's good, and he was really good in
I
college.
used
And
him.
then NASA
I used him
had a
today
really
on
game over.
CrossGrid.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There you go. Sorry, I should have given you more time to get that one.
No, yeah.
I didn't think anybody was
Because
getting
I was
that.
thinking him, but I didn't
see
put
Penn
together
State.
AZ.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really good. He was supposed to have a nuts breakout senior year, and then NASA ended up having a nuts breakout senior
So-
year instead.
Yeah, so we're not gonna go through each week and do like different letters, but if I find another fun one, I'll do another fun. Like, I mean, I'm sure R's, T's, S's, the common letters. I'm sure there'd be a lot of good ones in there. So, but yeah,
All right,
Cool.
Cooper, have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Why's your arm like that?
I was still blocking.
fancy. He's doing the Tommy DeVito.
Well, I didn't know if he was like pretending like he cut off his left arm. Like,
No, I was not making fun of
We should have you do a challenge that you have to cut off your or not use your left
I'll
arm
be
for.
Oh.
plunge next year.
You have to cut off your
cut
left
off
hand.
my hand. Yeah. All right. This has been the Second and Short podcast. We'll see you next week.